it's MK and I am back with another 31 days of cut file fun, and today I'm doing something I say that every time. I'm doing something a little different. Well, I hope they're all different, because if they start to get the same, they're a little boring. So I have 3 photos today. Here is my title made from a set of thickers, as well as my Simple Stories sticker book. I also have a few bits and pieces from 49 and Market, but those don't end up on the layout. I try a couple doilies, but they also don't end up on the layout. I have 2 little kit here from Not Just for Boys Kit Club I plan on using. Here is the cut file for today. I am starting off with Artist Stock cut files. And then I also have this Bow Bunny double dot or do dot or something like that dot paper, but I'm going to use the polka dot side. I also have this, I believe it's a Rusty Pickle not layout. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Piece of paper that I got off of a give-take table at one of my retreats. And then from Bow Bunny, I have this shutter paper that has this beautiful damask on the other side, but I'm going to use it for the shutter paper. All right, now that I've got my tongue all untwisted, I can probably get over this, or get through, probably not, this voiceover. So I'm going to cut down my Rusty Pickle background paper into 8.5 by 11, because this is the start of a few photos that I've already scrapbooked about getting my patio installed on at our house. So this was a few years back, and what I did was I took a picture of the house before I had the patio installed, and then I took a process of the patio being installed, and then of course after it was installed, and then my favorite part of when it rained. Oh my gosh, yes. So I thought that I would just do these pictures really quick. I don't know why it took me so long to scrapbook these pictures, but it's just, honestly, I was struggling with inspiration. Like, how do you scrapbook before pictures, right? They're kind of boring and kind of plain. And then I came across this succulent Polaroid, so to speak. And I absolutely loved it because of the fact that I technically live in a desert. At least that's what they call the area that I live in, is a desert. And so I pulled out the cacti from the Not Just for Boys, and then of course I have the succulents which also has a cacti up in the corner. And so I was thrilled. I also had cacti paper at one point in time, but I must have used it up because I could not find it. Either that, or I was in a hurry and didn't look very hard. That is probably that one. Anyways, trying to decide how I want my paper, or how I want my photos, because I'm not sure if I want all 3 photos on the layout or if I just want 2, but I couldn't decide which photo I wanted in the layout. Which one did I want to get rid of? Because I liked all the angles. I mean, I really liked how the very front one shows where the entire patio is going to go, and then of course the angle from the side. Our gear garden has not quite begun. I only have one, I believe I have 2 idler gears started in the garden, so I haven't gotten very far per se with my gear garden. So it shows progress of where we are at when we first started, the whole front yard project. Okay, all right, moving on to my Polaroid frame that I have here. It is a beautiful frame. I could have taken my markers and colored the succulents and backed the succulents and done all this kind of stuff. But instead, what I wanted to do was take this thread, or I think it's called floss, to be honest, from the Not Just for Boys Kit Club kit, or little embellishment kit, I should say, that came with a wooden cacti and this thread. I have no idea what the intentions were for it, but I decided that I was going to wrap the twine around my Polaroid. And when I first started doing this, I was like, oh, I'm going to go around like it's a circle. I've done this before. It looks good. I've never done it on a square before, and the corners kind of get a little bulky. I don't really like how it looks, but I do love what this variegated or ombre, I think. Help me out. What is it called? Where it goes from dark to light to dark. I love how that looks. But the more I kept thinking about it, the more I was like, okay, I should have only gone up and down with the whole thread instead of trying to go all the way around. So here I am trying to fix the corners and make the corners look good. And there's what it looks like. Yay! I love how it looks this far away, but close up it doesn't look as good as it does. So I'm going to tuck it around the photo. And the reason why I chose this photo is because it shows most of the yard, and everything on the right, it doesn't really matter because that's my driveway and my car and my garage and boring. But what it's framing is the portion that my patio is going to go. If you can imagine it, I can. Plus, this is going to go right in front of all of the other items that I've already done, or all the other photos that I've already done. So it makes sense to me having that Polaroid right there. I love how it pops out. I love this little pink cacti. It also pops out, helps with the coloring. And then I cut off the succulents. And now I can use those succulents in other areas of my layout. So I really like how they add to the fact that I was going to use doilies instead, but now they became the doilies. So I really like how that looks. So I went ahead and I glued everything down how I had it all laid out. Boring watching me lay it out and then turn around and glue it all down in the exact same place where I laid it out. So I fast forwarded through that. Also fast forwarded through putting my title down, which says before the patio. I know the words the patio are really hard to see this far away, but honestly, up close and personal, the only letter that's really hard to see is the I on patio, but you can kind of get the gist, especially once I put it in the layout in the order that it, or in the album in the order that it's supposed to go. So this is definitely going to be before the layout, or before the patio, and then you flip it and then you could see the construction of the patio. Now I'm just taking the leftover thread because I just had a tiny microscopic bit of this left. I split it in two so I could put it in both of my clusters, so that way there is thread represented in all three of my little clusters that I had going on. Now, in case you're curious on why my cacti got really dark all of a sudden, my wooden one, is because not just for boys, leaves masking on top of their wood pieces. I'm not sure about their acrylic pieces, but I know for a fact they're wood pieces in case you want to peel certain things away, do little effects and things like that. So I really think that that's pretty cool, but I liked it just being this dark wood cacti. So I left it like that, and that is the end of this. Now I did take all of that shutter paper in the beginning. I totally missed talking about it. I did take it and cut it apart and use bits and pieces throughout so it was part of my background. I wanted it to look more like doors than I did shutters, and I think that that effect really took place. Either that or it just looks really good in the background. I have no idea. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. We are almost, oh, I hate to say it, we're almost to the end of our 31 days, you guys. I am so sad to see this project come to an end, to see this series come to an end, but I do look forward to next year too. So it's pros and cons, right? I absolutely love it. All right, be sure to check out the Facebook group and see what is going on over there, as well as the playlist and the hashtag. And oh my gosh, there is just inspiration everywhere. All right, again, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later.